Hello again. Want to introduce you today to the wonderful world of Google Maps. You'll find this, of course, on your laptop. You can access it on a web browser. I'll show you that now. But for most people who have an Android phone, it's on your phone. The symbol should look something like that. You click on it and you're in Google Maps. And basically, what should happen is it'll automatically tell you where you are. So there's a GPS in your phone, global positioning system. It knows where you are. And you'll see two buttons at the bottom. The one is that sort of compass button that will kind of align you to where you are. And the other one is this big blue button, which has got an arrow in it, which means directions. And if I were to go to the Rec restaurant, I just start typing in the Rec, and it's very clever. It knows you're not interested in the Rec in Thailand or in America. You're interested in something close to you. So it says, oh, there you are. Rec restaurant is there. It's 1.7 kilometers away. And you click on the button and it says, oh, hang on, from where you are to the Rec restaurant, it'll take six minutes. And there's the route. And by the way, it normally gives you an alternative route. Do you see in gray, there's another route there? Yeah, normally that's a little bit of a longer route, but this is the most direct route. And you'll also see other little logos there. If you want to walk, it'll take you 34 minutes. By train, we don't have train in Swakopmund, so that doesn't apply. All right, so it's 3 kilometers in distance. It's going to take us 6 minutes to get there, and it'll give us exactly the directions. You're going to turn left, Southern Street, you're going to turn to Ogalla Street, etc., etc., etc. And again, if you press the button at the bottom saying start, it will actually guide you through that route. And there should be a woman telling you step by step how to do it. By the way, this on your car, if you have Bluetooth audio, she should be speaking to you through your car speakers, which makes it nice and loud. And if you have a fairly modern car, something like a Toyota Starlet or a Suzuki Baleno, it should have something in there called Android Auto, which means you can link your phone to the screen in the middle of your car on your dashboard, which means this map, you can clearly see it, it's on your dashboard. Otherwise, some people buy a little stand that they put on their dashboard so they can see this map clearly. I rely on her directions, and that seems to work fine. It'll also tell you interesting things in terms of your route options, etc., etc. But the one I like is the fourth one down. Set your departure or arrival time. Now, it doesn't really apply in a small city like Swakopmund, but if you're in Cape Town or London, it'll give you ideas. I've set it there, and I've said I want to arrive on Sunday at 8:30 in the morning. And it'll tell you exactly, it's a 7-minute long journey. It'll tell you how long it's going to take at that time on that day. So obviously in a rush hour, it's going to take longer than it would out of a rush hour. I'm going to switch to London now. This is a map of London. You've also got something, you see kind of in the middle on the left, there's a roundabout there. There's a little picture with that sort of funny little diagram on it. That's what we call Google Street View. And if you click on that, it'll actually take you, there we go, to a view of that street. And it's a moving view. So you see the arrows at the bottom? You can double click with your finger on those arrows and you can start moving around and seeing different views. And you can actually essentially walk down the street. I'm going to show you that just now on the laptop. Here is some other things you can do in terms of your profile, your timeline, etc. But the one, have a look, interesting that I use quite often, offline maps. Do you see the fifth one down there? Offline maps. So again, I've got an offline map of Swakopmund, but I'm planning to go to Cape Town. Offline means if you're not connected to the internet with Wi-Fi or something, you can still see the map. So I'm going to go to Cape Town. I need that map of Cape Town. It's going to take 60 megs of my space on my phone, and I'm going to download it. And there we are. It's busy downloading. All right. I want to show you a little bit more about this Google Street View. I'm in London again now, and I'm now on my laptop, so we can get a clearer idea of how it works. With the laptop, by the way, it works rather differently. That picture on the left there just gives you different kinds of maps, which we're not really going to worry about. The Street View is this little yellow person at the bottom, and I can drag that person to Bishopsgate there, and now I'm in Street View. And as you can see, Street View is quite wonderful because it allows me to look up, to look left, to look right, to look behind me, yeah. And if I want to walk down that street, I double click, and I can walk down the street, and then I can have a look at the view there. And if I want to go further, I double click, and I can walk a little bit further and have a look at the bikes, and I can zoom in and have a look in that cocktail bar and have a look up. It really is. It's a fascinating tool. And by the way, you've got different maps of different times. That one is May 2021. In other words, that's when the car drove past this scene in London. And again, if you open that map there, you can quickly go somewhere else. Let's go down to Liverpool Street Station. And there we are, we're in Liverpool Street Station. We'll just make that a bit smaller. And now we can have a look around and see what we can see on Liverpool Street Station. And I want to see Street View, thank you. So if this is giving me a slightly different view, which I don't really want. I want a street view. I want to go back to the street. There we go. So I'm in the street now. And I want to go down to the street. It's not allowing me to go into the street. Well, let me start again. I'll do Liverpool Street Station. And there we go. And let's have a look at it. That's a nice map. And with my little man, I'm going to put myself down somewhere there in the street because I want to have a look at the street view. There we go. There we go. So now I'm in the street, Liverpool Street, and I can have a look around again. So play with Street View. It's quite fun. There's another thing that you may be interested in that I use quite often, and that is save. So there's Liverpool Street Station. I've marked it there. I can just mark it with that. Then you can say, okay, I would like to save that. You see it says save? And I can save it to a list. I'm going to save it to Cape Town 2022. I don't quite know why, but anyway. Now, when you have a look at your list, when I look at my places, when I'm visiting Cape Town, there's a whole lot of interesting places that I'd quite like to visit, one of which is now Liverpool Street Station. But let's say I want to go to the Moods Collectives. I saw this place and it looked quite interesting. Well, again, it's going to take me down to the Moods Collectives and tell me exactly where it is. And then if I'm in Cape Town, if I press that button, Directions, it'll tell me exactly how to get to that particular place. So this idea of the saved button, Eagles Cliff Wines, Odom Mule District, interesting places that I thought might be interesting in visiting in Cape Town. The last thing I want to show you is that you can make your own maps on Google, which can be really quite useful. I'm busy now with a map of cycle lanes here in Swakopmund. And again, to do that map is really quite easy. I can open it in my maps and then I can start adding different colors or different patterns, etc., etc., etc. And I can even add photographs. So I've got photographs to illustrate each of these cycle lanes that we have in Swakopmund. So there's so much you can do in Google Maps, and it's just a matter of clicking and pressing and experimenting and doing what you want. But I think hopefully some of these ideas will help you in terms of navigating the world and seeing the world and exploring the world through Google Maps.